Welcome back to Bronco Adventures. We're doing some more installs on Barg Off-Road's two-door Bronco here. We are setting it up with some Baja Design chase lights. It's gonna be awesome. It comes with all the necessary wiring, and these lights with the supplied bracket, it's just, they're gonna go right here and you're gonna have two pods. Now, you can option the lights with white lights or amber light covers or lenses, however you want to do it. Once these come on here, you just flip the switch, and now people behind you while you're out on the sand or whatever dust storm, they'll be able to see where you're at, because Baja Designs doesn't screw around. They have some bright lights. So we got to tear apart the interior. We made a custom box a couple weekends ago. It's pretty cool. Proud of that. Don't judge us. We got to take that out. And then we got to remove like this whole panel over here to access our wire. And then we're going to sneak all of our wiring through the tailgate, hidden right in our factory loom. You can do this. You just got to have some patience and be willing to tear apart your Bronco. I'm going to get a hammer. First things first, we're going to remove the spare tire. Now, why am I using a ratchet? I don't know. Well, I do know, because these go into a plastic retainer off of the tailgate. If you go using power tools to, you know, coming off probably be okay, but zipping them back on, you don't want to take a chance of stripping that out. So just be gentle. Take this off and put it back on so it doesn't fall off on the road. Could you imagine that? Driving down the road, and I love rogue tire videos. All right, you want to make me laugh, just send us some rogue tire videos. People, you know, unexpectedly getting, you know, trampled by a tire, like in this case a 37-inch tire. I find that hilarious. Sorry, not sorry actually, because it's funny. Anyway, you imagine this coming off on the highway speed and just, you know, drilling you from, you know, right in front of you. You could see it coming the whole time. It'd be hilarious, but it's not ideal. Anyway, I'm getting the tire off, and then we're gonna get these lights mounted up, and then we'll start playing with wiring. That's gonna be the biggest chore for this job, is to just gently take apart the interior so we don't cause any issues. So we got our tire off there, and I've got our electrical ran. The way this kit comes, you got two lights on the back of here. So it goes from both lights down to one single harness. Now, we're gonna be hooking it up to auxiliary 3. You don't have auxiliary switches. You cheaped out on your Bronco. I get it, I understand. The cool part is, Baja Designs has you covered. If you have auxiliary switches, you can hook up to the wire that we're fixing to find in the Bronco. But if you don't, you can take, and they send you a wiring harness with a nice switch that you can mount anywhere on your dash, and it runs all the way up to your battery. Just got to figure out the path for you. Sorry, I'm not going to show how to install this one on this video, but just know that this is an option with this light kit. Now, we're going to get this bracket mounted up, get our wheel back on, and then we're going to tear apart the interior. I'm excited. It's not my Bronco. I'm excited. So you have to pick them up by yourself. I got it. Okay. Whew. They send these. They're like new lug nuts. Start them on here, and then when our bracket meets up in here, there's another threaded end to these lug nuts. You can run a bolt into it. So the cool part is, this is all just plug and play. To get that wire through the tailgate, I just made a little cut in the grommet, stuffed it through, and now we've got our wiring around. We're gonna have to reach in here somehow, and we're gonna pull our wires right here for the lights. So let me get the bracket mounted up, and then we'll get the lights mounted. The main focus is getting the lights mounted. There it is, we're done. They're wired up and everything. Nope. But they're on. You just can't see that the light's lit up. You'll know when these things are lit up, because you'll see through your retinas when we light it up. Even on screen, it's bright. I like how this mounts, and it keeps it all out of the way. Now, one thing I didn't mention is there's a little spacer that goes from this bolt that runs through to that new lug nut. So that way, if you have a different offset of wheel, you won't be touching your wheel. So that's something to keep in mind when buying this is, you know, what's your wheel, you know, situation going to be, because you don't want to rub it on the wheel. The cool part is You need to change your spare tire. You reach in here, unplug the 2 lights. When you undo these, the whole little set just comes off, and then you take the spare off like normal. So it'll add in another little step, but nothing major. But for now, we got to start pulling the interior apart in this thing so we can get the wire ran and actually get power to these lights. It's getting cold. We're going to turn the Bronco around. We're going to get in front of the warm as we can. And we'll start tearing this thing apart and get power to the lights. I don't know how we're doing that, but we'll figure it out. Okay, so we've removed the inside panel. It's actually not as hard as we anticipated. You know, we were thinking maybe you were gonna have to take out the seat, but there's enough room that if you're, you know, gentle, you just start popping off all the clips and it comes right out. Anyway, your factory auxiliary switch wire is right here, this white one. White with red. So is what we're gonna do is we're gonna route our wire. We're gonna follow this wiring harness right here above the wheel well. And we're going to tie our power in right there to that wire. Then back up here, there is already an existing ground. We're going to tie the ground right into that body grommet there. And then we're going to put the panel back on because we're done with that part. Then we got to jump into the glove box and actually make a wire connection for the auxiliary switch. Because technically right now, this doesn't have power supplied to it. You can utilize this wire if you ever need it, but if you want to do, you know, other things with the switch, you don't have to utilize specifically this wire for number 3. So we'll jump into the glove box next and start making wiring connections. We're almost there. Not really. Okay, so we got our wire routed. Came up here to the ground, you know, with our black wire, because that's typically ground. And then we just took a white wire and we butt connected it, because it was short. And then we came all the way up here to our aux switch wire and used another butt connector. So now we're going to get the Bronco back together, and then we'll pull apart the glove box and figure out what we're doing in there, because I have no clue. We're probably going to read about it, to be honest. I'm being honest. We're going to read about it. Okay, so welcome to Under Your Dash. The glove box just literally pops right out. It hooks onto these 3 points, and you can get it out of your way. I've also removed the kick panel just to be able to show you guys a little more in depth of what you're doing. So I thought it was white and red, but it's actually white and orange. Correction, colorblind, sorry. White and orange wire runs up around here, and then it is popping out right here. Now, what we experienced is the white wire was actually taped into the loom, kind of dropping back behind here. So you almost didn't see it when you opened up the glove box. Traced it out, kind of pulled it back, and there it is. Now, you also have 2 other auxiliary switch wires here. You've got a brown and white wire, and then you also have just a solid white wire. So is what we're going to be doing is our brown and white wire is going to butt connector to our orange and white wire that's coming all the way from the rear. Once we have that connection established, then out under the hood, just like when you're normally hooking up an auxiliary switch, we'll connect whichever switch to the brown and white wire that we want, and we're done. So rear of the Bronco wiring, middle of the Bronco wiring, under the hood wiring. But then it's on your auxiliary switches that is included in your Bronco, which is awesome. So I'm going to get this connection made, and then we'll see you under the hood. I got to be quick. We have dim lighting here. We located our purple and green wire, and then also our brown and white wire that runs from under the dash. We've, you know, connected them up. Now it's time to flip on auxiliary number 3 and see if we have lights. I think we do. I don't know. Number 3. Wow, those are really bright. Like, they are bright. Look right into it. You'll see squares. Like, those are not playing around. Yeah, that is crazy. So the reason to have these out on the trail is in a really dusty, dirty scenario. You have cars coming up behind you. You're in thick, heavy fog, things like that. These lights will definitely do the job of alerting someone, hey, I'm here, slow down, you know, go around. This kit's awesome. You got to check it out. We'll have everything linked in the description below. Thanks for watching. Get off your couch and go and create an adventure. Don't trip over Sasquatch shocks. We'll see you next time.
Bronco Adventures.